She thinks she's the best, better than all the rest. It's Cooking with Karla.
Okay, so we're getting ready to make 2 egg omelets, and you can see here that I have the teacher copy where I've already listed, with some little typos in here, the host and hostess equipment and the kitchen equipment. But I want to explain why I have the things written under host equipment so that you will understand how I came up with that. So I look back in my ingredients, and I know that I'm going to get, the first thing I'm going to do is star the things that are actually going to be at the supply table instead of in the kitchen. So I know that 2 eggs are not in my kitchen. I know that cheese is not in my kitchen. I know that the spinach is not in my kitchen. The onion is not in my kitchen. Water is, so I'm going to leave that alone. And then a couple of shakes of salt and pepper are in my kitchens. Okay, so I'm going to look first at the eggs, and it says 2 eggs per omelet. You will be making 2 per group. So that means I'm going to be needing 2 times 2 equals 4 eggs. So 4 eggs is a little bit big for custard cups, so that's why I wrote small mixing bowl. Then the 1/4 cup cheese per omelet, that is actually going to be 2 times. So I could either do 1/4 cup dry measuring cup 2 times, or I could do a 1/2 cup dry measuring cup. So I'm going to go for ease, so I'm probably going to go ahead and go for the 1/2 cup and then divide it in my teams. The next one on the list is a pinch of spinach per omelet. In parentheses, it says to chiffonade. And what we know about that, I'm going to have you underline that in your recipe. Chiffonade is a type of cut that we're going to be talking about. So a pinch of spinach, you can decide how many leaves you want. So for that, a custard cup would be fantastic. For the 1 tablespoon of chopped onion, your chopped onion is not going to come to you chopped. It's going to be a chunk of onion. So you're going to need to have something to put that in. So that's where the custard cup comes in. Now we're going to go over kitchen equipment. We've already done host and hostess equipment, and I'm going to explain the process for what I need for the kitchen equipment. So you have to go back and read the directions, and you have to refer back to the ingredients. So for step 1, it says to beat eggs, onions, spinach, cheese, water, salt, and pepper in small bowl until blended. Well, the onion and the spinach, when I look back in my ingredients, they're not already cut up. I have to do that, or some of them say it, some of them don't. So you will need a cutting board, which is why I put cutting board, and a chef's knife. So then in order to do step 1, I need a mixing bowl, and then I need my whisk. For step 2, it says to heat the skillet to medium heat. That's why I put skillet. Grease skillet before you turn it on. Don't need anything for that. For step 3, after about 2 minutes of your skillet preheating, put a drop of water on the skillet and make sure it is sizzling before you move on to the next step. I don't need any pieces of equipment for that. Step 4, pour in egg mixture. Mixture should set immediately at edges. I don't need any equipment for that. Step 5, gently push cooked portions from edges toward the center with inverted turner. So that's why I have turner. It should be over here. Also, so that uncooked eggs can reach the hot pan surface. Continue cooking, tilting pan and gently moving cooked portions as needed. Step 6, when top surface of eggs is thickened and no visible runny liquid remains, fold omelet in half with turner. Slide omelet onto plate. Okay, so I have all of this. The plate I put because that's just easier to crack your eggs onto a plate rather than directly into your bowl, and then you have all those shells. And then the 1 tablespoon, didn't say anything in the directions, but when I go back up to my ingredients, it calls for 1 tablespoon of water, so I know that I'm going to need that. Okay, as you can see, I've gotten my large bowl for trash, my skillet, my mixing bowl, my cutting board, my knife. I didn't do a chef's knife, but it's a great knife. 1 tablespoon, my turner, my whisk, and my small plate for cracking my egg. Cute picture of my daughter and husband, they were singing at a wedding when she was little. They sang, oh, it was that Miley Cyrus song, Butterfly Fly Away. Yes, it was for the bride and groom's first dance. Super cute. And then, of course, super cute of me and Ava. And then let me show you my doggies. Never mind, they like to play with towels. So never mind that I have towels all over the place. Here's Russell. Hi, Russell. Hi, Rusty. Say hi. Say hi. Want to say hi? And there's Lucy. Hi, Lucy. Rusty. You shake? Oh, that's a good boy. Lucy? Oh. Yes, there we go. You have lots to say. Lucy, can you shake? Yeah. And Rusty just pushes her out of the way. This is kind of what he does. He has lots to say. Okay. They're all their toys. They're overwhelmed. Hi, friends. I don't know where I'm supposed to look. Anyway, I'm waiting for my husband to get home so he can help me record because I'm trying to do all of this by myself. I keep looking at the wrong place. I think I'm supposed to be looking there. Is that? Can't figure out where to look. Okay. Anyway, so we're going to be cooking here shortly. Okay, people? Okay.
Go.
Okay. So I apologize for the fact that I had frozen kale, you guys. Yours calls for spinach. It's going to be fresh and crisp. Mine, I kind of had to thaw out some kale. I'm not really eating these. I'm just trying to show you. So I've taken the leaves and I've layered them one on top of the other. And you're going to roll them. It'll be much easier. We're just rolling them. Much easier with spinach. Actually, that wasn't too bad. And then we're just going to cut little strips. You'll be able to tell better with the spinach than with this. And then you'll unroll them and you'll see like little ribbons almost. It's not gonna show very well on these, but it'll be like little ribbons, okay? It won't be near as watery as mine are, okay? So when we look back at our recipe, now you can just have it on me, that's fine. Beat eggs, onions, spinach, cheese, water, salt, and pepper in a small bowl until well blended. So I need to add all of those things into my mixing bowl. So the first thing that I'm gonna add is the first thing on my list for step one, which is my eggs. I'm making one omelet at a time, so I'm using 2 eggs. So I'm going to crack it on the plate, crack it into my bowl. If I have shell, I can get the shell out, put it in my trash bowl. Same thing here. Now, I've got yolk all over my hands. I don't want to be touching things, so I'm going to wash my hands really quick so that I'm clean, because we need to be clean at all times, okay?
Good.
Welcome back to Cooking with Karla. Okay, so I've had my eggs added. Now I'm going to add my onion. Remember, I've already gotten all of my onion ready, but I'm only adding half of it because half of it's going to my other omelet, okay? So I'm gonna add that. I'm also gonna add my spinach, which is kale weird stuff, so sorry. Give spinach a try, you guys are gonna love this. Not this particular, but you know what I mean, okay. Cheese, okay, so I've got my cheese measured right over here, okay? And I'm gonna use half of my cheese, because remember, we're making 2 omelets. Okay, oops, I did a little over half, my bad, okay. Then water. Now look at your recipe. How much water are you supposed to put in per omelet? And it says 1 tablespoon. So I'm going to get my 1 tablespoon of water. You could also use, that's right people, milk, heavy whipping cream, but I'm just doing 1 and this is gonna help them get fluffier, okay? Salt and pepper, and if we look back in our recipe, it tells us that it takes a couple of shakes of salt or pepper. So I'm going to introduce you to my salt and pepper shakers. Welcome. What's their names? I can't remember.
Steve and
Peggy.
Peggy.
Steve and Peggy. Steve starts with an S, so salt. Whatever. Peggy?
Peggy.
Starts with a P,
Pepper,
so
Peggy.
pepper. Okay? Super cute. I don't know which is which. So I'm going to give it, you know me and my pepper. I love pepper. So I'm going to do a little bit of a little happy. Okay. I like to place them like so they're always kissing. Okay. So then I'm going to beat them. What do we beat them with? A whisk. So we're going to beat, and remember I have to hold it weird because of my arm. So you're going to get in there. cheesy yumminess, okay? We just want to blend them nicely, okay? But remember, as Alton Brown says, we don't want to overbeat them, okay? Next up, step 2 says to heat your skillet to medium heat. Grease skillet before you turn it on. So that's where my pan is gonna be. So I'm gonna get my skillet ready. And I'm gonna get my pan. Don't look at how, yep, look down. I'm so messy, okay? Hold up, I'm almost ready. Back. Pam is here again, hello. I'm gonna spray. Oh, I might be about out of that. Okay. And then I'm gonna cook on this skillet right here. And I'm gonna turn, if you wanna zero in on this, I'm gonna turn it to about a 6. Okay, a 5 or a 6, in between there is fine. Your recipe says 6. So that is going to be heating and getting nice and toasty. Step 3, after about 2 minutes of your skillet preheating, put a drop of water. You can just kind of get some on your fingers. And make sure it's sizzling before you move on to the next step, okay? So I'm gonna wait 2 minutes. In the meantime, you're gonna see our darling Rusty, and you're gonna see some of his tricks. Rusty, sit. Oh, yes, sit, lay down. Oh, good boy. Shake. Roll over. Oh, Rusty, you're such a good boy. See, and then once he gets jealous, and then he talks. Okay. So that's that. We'll be back in just one moment.
Cut! 1, action!
Okay, so I'm on step 3. After 2 minutes, your skillet preheating, put a drop of water. So I'm gonna kind of, hear that sizzle? Nice. Sizzle. I might turn it down just a little bit because I don't want it to get crazy. Okay, that's what we should hear. I didn't crank up the heat, people. You're gonna burn your omelet and it smells horrible, okay? Step 4 is when I'm going to pour in the egg mixture. The mixture should set immediately at edges, and it's gonna be a pretty quick process, okay? So I'm gonna get my turner ready, and I'm gonna pour that in, okay? You could use a rubber scraper if you so chose, whatever. Okay, and it's gently push the cooked board. So this is my inverted turner. Can you guys see that? Here's the oh, I just flung a bunch of stuff. Here's a regular turner. This is my inverted, and I'm going to push it towards the middle and tilt. Push it towards the middle, tilt. Push it towards the middle, tilt. You have to be careful not to tilt any of the egg out of the pan, out of the skillet. Okay, so you have to be super careful, and I'm kind of dragging along the edges here. Okay, and we're just kind of filling in those holes. Like so. You can still see there's a lot of jiggle there. We want it done, okay? We don't want raw. Some of the cheese is going to give you some shine as it's melting, but this is way too much shine. We don't need that. Drag it and watch, see how it's not wanting to do anything right there? It's really slow. That's happening as we're starting to cook the egg. So I'm going to just take this and kind of lightly spread. If I go really super, see how that kind of made a little hole there? I'm going to fill it in. Okay, if you go super fast with it or super rough, then it's going to tear, and you don't want that, okay? Once it gets to about, I say K a lot. I need to stop that. I say it all the time. I'm just lightly kind of dragging it because I'm wanting to get some of that cooked portion over here. Look at me, just lightly drag. K, K. Do you hear that, K? Hold on, just keep your eyes on there. I'm gonna try to find my skillet, and I can't find my lid. When it gets to this point, when we're wanting to kind of cook, and it doesn't say this in your recipe, I don't believe, anywhere. So basically we're wanting this to be well done, and it's almost there, but I can put my pan lid, oh, it almost fits. And that can help. The steam from the top is actually gonna be cooking the egg on the top. So that can kind of be like your last step. You don't wanna put this on right away because then it's not gonna cook right. but you're going to follow that inverted turner, just kind of pushing in, tilting, just being really careful not to get that on your burner. So this might be on here for like a minute. You can check it every once in a while and see how it's going. There's still a little bit. I'm one of those that really likes my omelet done, don't I, Mr. LaFoon?
Yes, you do.
I love all my eggs. I don't like to have runny.
Well done.
Well done. I'm going to do just a little bit more because I like to have it very well done. While it's doing that, I'm going to read the next step. Step 6, when top of eggs is thickened and no visible runny liquid egg remains, fold omelet in half with turner, slide omelet onto a plate. I'm going to get my plate while that's going. Okay. Sit that there. Take this off. I'm going to go ahead and remove from heat. And I am going to, now this gets to be the tricky part, okay? I'm going to fold it in half like so. You guys, I don't expect you to have it perfect the first time. You may try to fold it and it only goes halfway, and then you can just fold it from the other side, kind of like a tri-fold. It's totally fine. Yours may break, and that's okay too. It's still edible. So to slide it off, I'm going to start at this end of the plate over here, bring it and kind of help lift it over, and then I'm going to drag my skillet away, like so. I'm a master chef of America, okay? That's how that works. So now you have this luscious omelet where if you cut into it, you can cut it in halves, you can cut it in bite-sized pieces, whatever, look at that. So here are the things that you can add to omelets. Omelets are the most wonderful thing on the planet. Many different cheeses, many different vegetables, bacon, sausage, you name it.
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes will be fabulous. So Rusty sits and watches me cook, hoping that something will fall every time. So should I give him a little bite of omelet? I wonder if I should. Might be kind of nice. So actually, this is Rusty's omelet. This is gonna be his dinner, okay? Now people, it's time to lab plan. That means you need to go through and you need to figure out what your jobs are. Who's the head chef? Who's the assistant chef? Who's the dish dude? Who is the host or hostess? What are the steps you're gonna take? You're gonna circle all the cooking verbs. You're gonna box temperatures. I want you to underline the word chiffonade. And what else? Oh, you need to write the supply table equipment, and you need to write the kitchen equipment. And you need to be prepared, people. You need to be prepared. You never want to enter a recipe not prepared.
Now get busy!